And welcome back to the Market Wolf, where I give you the best bear case, the best bull case, and I give you my opinion. I apologize, I'm sick, so this episode is going to be brief and to the point. We are looking at Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. Tesla is currently sitting at $193.49. Tesla did dip lower into this green range where I said that it would go. The best bull case is that we break up into this range between $202.48 and $207.03 this coming week. Test that, perhaps chop there for a while, and then come all the way up, try and back test roughly $215, and then likely try and back test $230.21. If we got super bullish, it could even try and back test $241.37, but I think that's where it would max out on your best bull case for this coming week. Best bear case is that we break up possibly a little higher, maybe to about $193.69, and then we come back down to $175.90, but that we could break down even further, somewhere on the support line, roughly around $168. My opinion is that Tesla is likely doing everything it is supposed to do now. I believe that since we visited this area, as of right now, I believe we are going to chop up to the side, and we're going to test 196.68. I think we'll likely see a little breakdown to the 20-day at some point, maybe at around 189.22, depending where it's at on that time during the week as Tesla is continuing to move. And then I do think by the week's end that we might be testing some of these areas up here, somewhere between $202.48 and $207.03. At that point, we're really going to have to decide what's going on from there. I'll put some chart updates on Twitter if I see that this range is going to reject us. We're looking at Quant on the 1-hour time frame. It is currently sitting at $103.23. And that is the 5.5 month old. Overall, all of the time frames on Quant look very bearish. So let's just start with the best bear case. The best bear case is that you violate this floor that you've been attempting to build, and you break down past about that $100 mark. And what did we hit? About $99 before, like I said we would. And so then your next level of support for the bear case would be about $96.48. Your best bull case is, I believe, that you're building a floor right about here where we are right now, at about $102.73, and that you actually break up to test $107.75, perhaps get topside of that and try and gain support. My opinion on Quant is that we are trying to build a floor, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us potentially $2.26 first, or even maybe roughly around $101.87, somewhere in there, on a little bit further breakdown. Although I do think it is trying to build a floor in this range, so I'm thinking that it's likely going to just try and double test $102.73, and then likely try to test up again here to see if we can get past this $104.60 range. Ultimately, right now, my expectations on Quant are bearish. We really just need buyers to step back in. So, that's kind of a short-term case for a short move I'm giving you there. But unless things change, and I'll put up charts throughout the week and I'll keep you posted on Twitter, but unless we see something drastically change, I think after we do that little chop action here, that, so something about like that, then we continue down even further, perhaps to then double test about the 101.65 level. So that's your best bear case and bull case, in my opinion, on quant. The S&P 500 is playing out exactly as I expected and anticipated it would. One thing I did not anticipate from last week's case was the short-term move here. It just chopped here briefly on the 499 level, and then wow, we just got bullish. I expected maybe a rejection and a retest at about $498.42, but the market is just on fire right now. There's a lot of greed, so be careful about that. But we have yet to finish our measured move, but things are just looking so bullish that that's a possibility. You can chop bullish for a long time. Weekly time frame, we're only really just now approaching overbought, and the volume coming in is absolutely stunning. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't come very close. Obviously we have some back tests, perhaps some chop, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't come very close to the top of this $560 level. Now, that's a longer case, right? That's a much longer case to play out. Our shorter case, we're almost finished with that measured move on about $506. Now, and that would make sense. Perhaps once you get there, maybe you get to maybe about $510, the market really starts to think, well, you know what? Maybe we need to do a little selling now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sellers step in at that point on this smaller measured move with a little bit of a back test. But yeah, your best bull case is that you finish this measured move. Your best bear case is that you perhaps break down and test the $481.50 level. Even more bears should be back testing that $469.13 level around the 20-day. I'm just not seeing that right now. And I think my case is just that this measured move, the short one, finishes out. We might see a rejection there and a little downside, but right now, again, everything just looks super bullish. On to Bitcoin. We are on the daily time frame. Bitcoin is currently sitting at $47,668.04. You can see we completed this reverse head and shoulders pattern. I told you we would likely break up last week before we broke down, and we have. Now, as I'm looking at this, let me give you the best bull case first. I think your best bull case is you get on top of this purple line here, which is a giant triangle, symmetrical triangle we've been in for a long time. And we're going to try and get support there, break up and test the top of this channel. And possibly by the end of the week, you could get super bullish and get on top of this channel and maybe have a breakout from there potentially. Your best bear case is that, we do try and get top side here. We chop around. Maybe we try and break up and fail. And then I think, on the daily time frame, you could come back down into this range right here at about $44,133.37. If you were to get super bearish, yeah, you could test this neckline at maybe roughly $42,308.41 without violating things, and for this pattern to hold on a continuation and breakout to test things again to the top side. My opinion is, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, so I wouldn't necessarily go in on puts or anything like that right now. The incoming volume is looking decent. We're at really an inflection point here where we could get a breakdown, we could break up. My suspicion is what's going to happen here, and this is a very tough call, one of the toughest I've made in a long time. So take that for what it's worth. I don't normally say something like that, but I think that we will likely have some break up to the upside here. We'll probably test that $48,975.09 level, but I do believe that, you know, we are going to break down, and the question is how far. I'm not as bearish on that as I was. You know, this just isn't looking half bad. This is looking very bullish. Yeah, I don't even think, you know, I don't even know that we would blow off that much and retest that 20-day, honestly. I think you would try and test the top side some more here, and then you may not even test this neckline. You may not even test the 20-day. Try and have a breakout to the top of this channel. So those are essentially the situations we're looking for here. You know, we definitely have some work to do on Bitcoin, one way or another, whether I'm right or wrong. I do think that there is going to be some back testing involved here, even though I'm really becoming more bullish the more I look at this in the short term. It's possible that bull case could play out. It could. I mean, this is a tough choice. I mean, I'm going to stick with the case that I gave you, but I'm also going to lean into a bull case a little bit here too that I made for you. Like we could test the top side of this ascending channel.